Hello world, my name is Danny Kabuhat. I really appreciate if you find it interesting and informative for you to subscribe to my YouTube channel and so that I can monetize it hopefully. Uh, Today I'm going to explain you the second process out of the three processes that I taught that can make rains. I guarantee it. Uh, we will make small storms, and if somebody will let me do it, we will be changing the states of California, Nevada, Arizona, Utah, Colorado to be totally different depending on the rainfall and depending on the uh, thickness of the snow, because that's where the water starts, from the snow in Colorado and Utah. But because of the weather pattern changes, the thickness of the snow is changing and it's very different and it's coming to be thinner and thinner. So the source of water is very small. Now, 4 months ago, I started this movement, the Trillion Trees movement, and this is why I started this Trillion Trees movement. It is coinciding with the rain making. The rain making is about the productions of rains when water and power sources is unlimited or limitless. Remember about the Villaggio fountain that I told you 4 months ago? This is how the idea starts. Remember that the Villaggio fountain, once you stay right here and the wind goes this way, and this went all the way to the 6 floors height of the skirting of the mist, and then the wind goes this way and you're standing near the strip, you will feel the mist, you will feel the moisture, and it will become cold. And that is in reality, you will feel that. And assuming that Celine Dion is singing, then it's 3 to 5 minutes. But I asked the Villaggio owner to let that run for 30 minutes, then the whole place will be even cooler. Assuming that you can convince them to run it for 30 hours or 30 days or 30 years, then you will be changing the climate along the street. It will be very moisture content high, and the temperature difference is, you will recognize it, you will feel it. But that's not feasible based on 4 months ago on the first YouTube video about the rain, because Lake Mead today is more than 100 feet down. 3 months ago, it's 90 feet down, and you cannot drain that water anymore, any longer, because according to the news, New Mexico and Nevada has only 50 days source of clean water. Luckily, they have the flash flood, so probably it replenishes 1% of the water, but still, it didn't mean cannot solve a thing on the problem that in Las Vegas is facing. Hopefully, I'm wrong that 20 to 30 years from now, there's no more people in Las Vegas because the water is not available. And hopefully, the governor of California, Governor Newsom, will help me realize this, or anyone who will help me make the rains a reality. I will really appreciate it. I am highly indebted to you, whoever you are. I really appreciate you. Now, remember that Villaggio. And then, you've seen this sign on the freeway, lighted sign all over Southern California. Extreme drought, limit outdoor watering. You know that this contributes on the rain, that it will not be possible, lesser and lesser every year, because they keep on putting that probably from south of San Francisco all the way to San Diego, and people will abide with that. They will not water their lawns because there's no more water. So remember, when you clean your car on the your driveway in front of your house. You wasted water there, but actually it doesn't, because the water comes back to the atmosphere as a free hydrogen, oxygen, or mist of water, and it goes back there. And because of that, there's no more. It's lesser and lesser every year that you say you don't water your lawn, you don't clean your car. So there's no more availability of moisture or mist or water particles on the atmosphere, and that helps for the condensation. We will, if we do the process we need to do at least 10 processes. There should be 2 processes in Baja California to make particles of rain available to the atmosphere, another 2 south of San Diego, and another probably 8 south of San Francisco. It costs $500 million, hopefully lesser. The only problem is the liability, so I need lots of attorneys, because if you pass through the ranches and the city, because you will be taking salt water and it will bring to the middle of the desert to make the rains. I will explain that to you later about that, because you cannot do that near the ocean. But on the first process that I'm telling you, I'm going this way. On the first process that I'm telling you is this. This is in Santa Barbara, west of Santa Barbara. There's at least 18 of these. These are oil drilling rigs, and it's already 20 foot high, 20 feet stories high. And why I asked Governor Newsom about this, we will test this place to put 10,000 nozzles of air, water like this. See this? These are the Cunard lines. These are Queen Elizabeth, and they will come to New York, and 2 fireboats are squirting the bow of the Queen Elizabeth cruise ship liner. You know why they squirt it with big long fireman boat they squirt it with water? Is that showing the whoever is inside is welcome in New York, because according to the statistics, at least $2 billion will pump to the economy of New York if they stay there longer. Now, it will be exactly the same thing to be put in this. And if you put 100 or 1,000 of that nozzles there, then you will be producing a lot of mist, a lot of particles of water. And that particles of water, once it is less denser than air, it will flow. It will go to the atmosphere, and hopefully it will condense. All we need to do is let it do that. Let it pumps and squirt water on the atmosphere. And that's already 20 stories high compared to the Bellagio. Bellagio is only 6 floors high. This water fountain. Now, I went to Dubai and I visited this. This is the Dubai fountain. I was there 3 months ago, during the World Expo, and I stayed there, and it's right there in the video, 1 or 3 of my videos in YouTube. It's about the Dubai fountain, and this one is 3 times bigger than Bellagio, and it's 10 floors high. Hopefully, I can convince the sheikh. I met the only son of the sheikh, probably that's Syed. That we can do this all over, and it will make sure the place will become cooler. Now, the second process, we're getting to the second process now. The second process is this. Obviously, you know this place. This is Ivanpah thermal power solar farm in between California and Nevada. This one are 20,000 parabolic mirrors. It's like this one right here. Obviously, you know the function of this. This will burn the paper if you let it sit there too long when you are exposed to the sun. And it will do the same thing here, focusing a densely focused heat going to this room that makes the superheated liquid, powers the generator, and there's transmission line going north and south that whoever needs electricity, if Nevada needs electricity, Edison will move the electricity going north to Las Vegas or any place. And if California needs more electricity power, then they will divert the power going south. Now, this is one of the reasons why I thought we can make rains, because again, the title of the second YouTube video about the productions of rains when water and power source is unlimited or limitless is because of this. This power comes from the sun, and how can you use all the sun's power for the last how many years or thousands of years? The sun's rays and heat is available and it's free. All you need to do is use the technology. Now, remember that this machine makes the water superheated and it powers the engine to make electricity. It's the opposite of our car's radiator. The car's radiator makes the engine uniformly hot or uniformly cold, depending on how the machine needs it, how the engine needs it. Now, this is a fact that obviously you know this. This is a conveyor belt. And if you see this can sort material, in FedEx you can see this. It sorts where the mails are going or the boxes is going. This is exactly what we need to produce particles of rain or mist. By using this technology, the concentrated solar disk mirrors that will hit and suck the ocean water coming from the Pacific Ocean, goes to the desert, and then remember the temperature of water, once it hits 212, it vaporizes. It's the law of nature. Now, if this is 200 feet wide and 2,000 feet long, powered by these parabolic mirrors, then the ocean water will vaporize and it will become vapors of rains that hopefully it will condense and it will drop somewhere somehow if it's too much weight on it. Once there are condensation, when there's so much condensation because the particles of water is available on top or on the atmosphere long enough that it will make small storms according to the weatherman here in United States. In the Philippines, we call that rains. But here, it's storms. I guarantee you we will make a little bit of storms as needed, because if we will produce too much rain or too much water available to the atmosphere, then we can just shut this down, going to this conveyor belt or like a bulldozer's tires, the metal tires, to move the bulldozer backward and forward. It's exactly the same. And look, this is a plus. Once the water from 200 foot wide to 2,000 foot long conveyor belts that is made of metal evaporates, that whatever is left on the end is salt. We will produce enough salt that I don't know how we can export salt to the Mars using Elon Musk in 2050. Now, you remember this. This is Hoover Dam. 2 years ago, or 2 months ago, or 3 months ago, it's 90 feet down. Now it's more than 100 feet down. And we need water. You know what they did a week ago? They asked Colorado to release their storage of water for emergency purposes because Lake Mead is 90 feet down, Lake Powell is 110 foot down, so the water is very critical. They cannot, probably 6 months or a year from now, hopefully by September to January, the rain will come, but still it will just make a ding. But by producing particles or mist of water coming from the ocean unlimitedly, and the power of the sun unlimitedly, then we can produce a lot of particles of rains available for condensation in the atmosphere. Remember this. This is the Navajo coal-fired generating power plant that is giving electricity to Phoenix, Arizona. Remember this. This was demolished in 2019 after 46 years that is being used to generate power for Phoenix or surrounding areas. Exactly the same thing is in between Chula Vista, California and Imperial Beach, but it is fueled by bunker fuel because it's near the ocean. And in between 5 to 10 years ago, that one was demolished too. It suffered the same fate. You know why? It produces this, and it produces lots of bad, dangerous gases. And look, the technology about the solar panels, the parabolic mirrors, it's not impossible to replace this machine after 46 years, to shut it down and just turn it off permanently. They demo this place, including the Chula Vista, or in between Chula Vista and Imperial Beach, where June Bautista lives. That's where the other bunker fuel electric generating plant is located. Look at this. This is Lake Shasta, north of Sacramento. Probably now it's 80 foot down. With Governor Newsom, we need a lot of water. We need a lot of rains. You just give me a chance. Remember this. This machine was owned for 46 years. Why can't you let my machine be on make one for 46 months and see if we can really make rains or moisture available? Remember, if we don't turn it off, we will be producing a lot of particles of moisture in the air, and hopefully it will condense. The only problem is hopefully I want to let the rain go to drops in Irvine. It went all the way to Yorba Linda. That's the only problem that right now I'm thinking about it, that hopefully I can solve. Again, look at this. This is a fire tornado. This was pair of words, because the fire, the burning of the trees this is in north of LA. They called it fire tornado. It makes its own weather because it becomes so hot, it sucks air and it produces more moisture, more heat, and it burns anything that is near it. Now, can we do the same thing with this? Can we do water mist, particles of water tornado? Can you help me, whoever you are, to make particles of moisture available to the atmosphere, which once it becomes vaporized, it becomes less denser than air, so it will float and it will go to the clouds, go up there. We don't know, but for sure it sits there, and hopefully it will condense and it will drop as a rain. Now, I want you to know one thing. This is the map of the United States. If we continue doing this process, which is already existing, all we did is to tweak it, to just mix it. It's not impossible. The only thing is the liability, because in California, remember this, the law You need hundreds of attorney because once the water pipeline from the ocean going to the desert, you will be passing through private lands, private ranches, and they will not let you go past there very, very easily without the fight. You need financial monetary benefits. Remember one thing, we need two of the machines right here in near El Centro, where the legal risk is low, and Mexico will be very, very happy. You know why? Because once you produce a lot of rains here or lots of moisture, it will drop. And for the last 50 years or 100 years, the water coming from Colorado, Utah, Wyoming, or something here that goes north, anything from here, the water from St. Louis, Missouri, or somewhere here goes this way. It goes west. Anything water that drops here, going that way. So anything that drops here, we're gonna go westbound. So we might be benefited. We will produce 100,000 lakes, more than Minnesota has. Minnesota has 10,000 lakes. California, Nevada, Arizona, and New Mexico, Utah has 100,000 lakes. And we will have free fish everywhere. And the fish is so big that you will be satisfied long enough. So remember this, all we need to do is start from here, near the ocean, on the desert places where I have a farm in Newberry Springs. I hope I can build one there that makes available rain-making machine, and I will give my land for free so that the movement will start. Remember this, trillion trees and the rain. It's not impossible, it's all facts. You cannot deny this, 46 years. You cannot deny Villaggio. You cannot deny these Cunard lines, this Queen Elizabeth. Look at the squirting of the fireman's boat. All you need to do is make 10,000 or 1,000 of that there, and we will produce a lot of particles of moisture. Hopefully, I can convince you, because these are all facts. This is Lake Shasta, look, north of Sacramento. It's there. Why can't you? And again, 25 years ago, the Central Valley of California, which produces trillions dollars worth of vegetables, fruits. You know what the state Congress did? They put a law that, assuming that I have 1,000-acre land that produces pistachios or oranges, 25% of that, or 250 acres, will be demolished, will turn into. You need to kill your plants, because according to law, 25% of the water you cannot use. You can only use 75%. That's by law. So if you can see 25 years ago, when I'm driving I-5 going San Francisco, you can see the dead plants, dead oranges, dead pistachios, dead grapes or whatever, because of that law. Now, again, these are all based on facts. Hopefully, I can convince you more by using visuals. And I think I have really explained myself. And this is the second process. By December 24, 2022, I will divulge you, upload the video on the third process. And from that time on, it's the first process that I told you, produces right there, acid rain. But because you're producing more clean water that has no acidity content, then we might solve the problem a little bit at a time. It takes a long, long time. But the third process that I will upload by December 24 will not do anything but distill water. Hopefully, I can convince you again. Or subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I will put more videos. And again, if you have time, visit the Trillion Trees Movement, the Kabuhat Farms in Newberry Springs. Why are they targeted Newberry Springs or Barstow area? Is that, remember, 25 years ago, Facebook started with only one friend, the girlfriend. Now, there's 3 billion friends in Facebook. Now, on this, I need 10 million of this guy. remember, in Newberry Spring, in Barstow, if I can plant trees, which I already did, and there's a lot of trees existing there now, all you need to do is plant 10% that much. And right now, it's only 5 months, 6 months. I already start with, out of the trillion trees, it's a dot on the letter T. I just barely touch it. Hopefully, I can last another 10 years or 20 years. And we might do something different to the earth. Hopefully about the trillion trees and the rain. All you need to do is let me do it. I appreciate you watching, and please subscribe if you can. I really appreciate it. My name is Danny Kabuhat. Please follow me on Instagram. I'm Danny the Rainmaker, and YouTube at Danny Kabuhat, Danny Kabuhat at yahoo.com. My phone number is 858-699-5573. You're welcome to call me anytime. Email me, dannykabuhat at yahoo.com. I welcome your comments. You tell me what I said, if it's true. Peace. I love you. Thank you all. And thank you, man.
Yeah.
How long? 25, 20 minutes?
25.